Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop. I'm Nick Reeves, this is my boy Ewan. This video, in many ways for me, is a bit special, which I'll come on to in a minute. But what we're looking at here today is starting the repair of a Foamy Wot4. If you're watching this video, don't know what these are very, very popular. It's a foam construction model that is basically a slightly smaller version than the classic Chris Foss Wot4 design. Electric powered, 2200 3S power, very, very popular, very, very versatile, and very easy to repair. So, as you've probably seen by the picture on the thumbnail, this one's broken. Now, why is it special? Well, this is being filmed while the owner doesn't know that I've got it. He had a slight mishap with it, and while I'm filming this, he's currently in hospital. Nothing to do with this, totally irrelevant to model flying, but he's in hospital. He doesn't know I'm doing this, so I want to try and get it fixed and ready to go again, or as close as I can ready to go again for when he comes home. So yeah, what have we got to deal with? Well, I don't know how he crashed it, but it was last week. Again, from point of filming, it was last week that it happened. I know he's flown this model a lot, so I don't know what's existing damage and what's current damage. But the wing, starting with the wing first, the only damage to the wing is the foam locating tag at the front. The actual plastic strong points are still secure. Rear bolted mount is literally ripped out of the foam, which is not a problem because it is still secured to the fuselage where it's meant to be. So that should, in theory, just unscrew. We should be able to epoxy that back in and it'd be solid. I might have to put a bit of reinforcing in it, but other than that, it shouldn't be a problem. As you can see, this bit should be on here. Again, it's a relatively clean, straight break. It should literally just slap back together with epoxy, keeping it square. There's going to be a few techniques that I use for this, which you might want to use for other repairs. The other thing which I'm not sure of just now is, again, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's something a bit funky going on inside there. So I'm going to take this all apart, find out what's loose, what's moved in the front, then glue it all up. Looking in from the back, I can't actually see what's come loose. And I'd be surprised, just spinning it gently, it looks like the shaft isn't bent. So whatever's happened, I don't think it's a major impact. The other thing, obviously the undercarriage has come out. Again, the metal undercarriage screws to a plastic plate that's sort of quite flimsily put in, but that can be just literally slapped back into place. So where do we start with this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the front end apart, see what's in there, possibly take the motor out to lighten it all up so I can get the first glue joint done, which is putting the front power section back onto the main part of the fuselage, and go from there. Okay, so I've got the front end apart. First of all, prop, it's actually 11 by 8. No, 11 by, I thought it was 11 by 7 that goes on these, but it's not, it's actually 11 by 8, but it's 3/4 of a prop, so that's going to the bin. Spinner came off easily, prop nut came off easily, cowl came off easily. Now the damage inside, again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, just like that. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this. You see that there? So what I'm going to do is open it up a bit, fill that with epoxy and force it back in. Clamp it up somehow, maybe just with a rubber band, let it go off. Everything else seems fine, the prop shaft seems straight. Yeah, prop shaft is straight, so it's that foam that's taking the load. So that's a fairly easy fix. So that is going to be the first thing to get glued up. Okay, so the front end has been glued up. It's as solid as it's going to be. There's still a bit of flex in it, but that's the whole foam and motor mount assembly, whole thing moving. The actual foam structure is all solid and glued back together. The wing, I can't remember if I said about what I was going to do to the wing, but the leading edge, like dowel, I don't know how you'll be able to see it. There's like a dowel nub bit there. That's more cosmetic, I think, than anything, because the actual strength is carried by these pieces in here. That's been glued back on, and the trailing edge section that was ripped out has been glued back on. I thought initially that it wasn't glued solid enough because there seemed to be movement in it, but it's the whole trailing edge of the wing that's flexing, not just that repair area. So that's, again, as solid as it's going to get. This aeroplane, I believe, has been through the wars a little bit, but not quite as bad as this. So we're just trying to prolong its life a little bit more. So the next stage is mating that to there. So what I'm planning on doing is, it's a really clean brake. I'm going to pull out these stickers out of the way. I'm going to put epoxy around here. I'm going to put pins in the sides, probably 4 or something like that in the sides here, maybe a bit further down, and the same corresponding place on the rear section, so that I can lace elastic bands between them once it's glued to hold it all together, and then I'll actually sit it nose down and prop it up somehow with batteries or something somewhere, so that it'll have a nice square. Everything's going to be gluing in the right direction, shall we say. As I said, it is a clean brake, so it should go back together quite easily and squarely. So we'll crack on with that just now. So, main fuselage joint is back together. Give you a bit of a close-up as to how I've held it together. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the join line, but all I've done is I've put pins into the foam, into the fuselage sides, and then there's elastic bands between them, so you can pull it together. And I've sat it while the glue's drying, nose down, so gravity's actually helping, using the back part of the fuselage to actually hold onto the front. Exactly the same on this side. I'll give it a look, see how it's come out. Get these pins out, elastic bands off. So yeah, that's all pretty solid. So next task is getting undercarriage back in, which should be fairly straightforward. It's quite a clean breakout, and it should quite simply slide back in. So I'll do a dry fit first, and then a wet fit with epoxy. So that's all glued in. That just needs to go off. I was going to use 20-minute epoxy, but I couldn't be bothered waiting for it to come to the bottom of the bottle because it was nearly empty. So I've just used 5-minute epoxy, so that should go off pretty quick. All I've got to do then, really, I think that's all the gluing. Just got to get the ESC lead back through and plugged in. Get the cowling back on, and that's about it. I can't actually set it up because I haven't got the transmitter, and it's not on. This is on Futaba. I've got Spectrum just now, so it's going to have to go back to the owner, and he's going to have to set it up. So I hope you're watching this at some point. You know who you are. I'm doing this because I want you to get out flying again. You've got various other things going on just now, which I want to help with, and if I can help doing this, great. There will be a few things that the owner will need to do to this. Nothing major, but it's going to be like 20 minutes, half an hour, get it flying again. So we'll leave this to go off and cure, and then see about getting the final pieces and make sure the wing fits back on. So that seems to have gone off solid there now, and that is basically the model as best it's going to get just now, ready for a certain somebody to set back up on the transmitter. All I've got to do is just screw on the cowling. There's a new prop required, but it might be better to actually have the prop on and spin it up the front just to make sure there's no vibration issues beforehand. So yeah, I'm sure you're watching this. I hope you appreciate this being done. I'm sure you will, and I hope you'll use it. By the time you see this video, this might be in bits again, but I wanted to get you back flying. If you're watching this and you're not the person involved with this, and you're not already, hit the subscribe button down the bottom. Any questions on building something like this, repairing something like this, comment below. All feedback is appreciated. It's all read. Tick the notification bell when you subscribe, and you'll get notifications as to when I put new videos up. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.